5, 4. Welcome back to NESN Bets Kickoff here inside the PNC studio. Travis Thomas here with my main man, of course, Sam Panayotovich. Hey, Eagles, Seahawks tonight in Seattle. Eagles favored by 4, total 45.5. Not without drama, though.
The last 3 hours have been
It's been
chaos.
brutal.
Who's
Not
in,
sure, yeah.
Who's out. You'll probably have to sweat this until kickoff. And then here's the crazy part. Let's just say Geno and Jalen both play, which we believe is going to happen. We don't know how effective they're going to be.
That's right.
But this is Monday Night Football. It's the NFL. Fantasy playoff spots are on the line. People's prop bets are on the line. There's enough action to go around.
No doubt. And listen, real playoff spots are on the line here. We understand the Eagles should be just fine. Seahawks fighting for their playoff lives, which is why I'm assuming Geno, and we know these guys are athletes, they want to play every game, but he's pushing it because he knows Seahawks cannot afford to lose another game here. With all that being said, who's in, who's out, whatever. I still have more faith in Jalen Hurts in his, what I'm calling, Jordan flu game, where he's sick.
Why do you have to bring Mike
He's
into
a
it?
hero. He makes the plays happen. I have more faith in that than I do Geno, even if he plays, being effective. I think a Geno Smith compromise health-wise is not a good sign. Although I respect that he's pushing himself and he's out there for his team, I would rather, dare I say this, I'd rather a healthy Drew Lock. Because as the Seahawks are built, Sammy, the makeup, they're there to run the football. They're there to play solid defense. We understand this is Pete Carroll's MO. I don't want, and I know Geno goes to Metcalf and Smith and Jigba and all these weapons, but I just don't believe that's how the Seahawks are built to begin with. I think they're better off a healthy heaping of Kenneth Walker III tonight, personally.
Well, that's because you have Kenneth Walker to go off today.
Well, I do, but I just think that's how they're built.
The Eagles' secondary is their weakness.
It
though.
is.
So I understand what you're saying, but I have to believe that if Seattle can air the ball deep, they're going to try and do that because Philly is now bottom 10 in the last 4 weeks against the pass.
Ooh-wee.
So just because the Seahawks have been good against, teams like this that like to air the ball out, it doesn't mean like it's going to happen. Like what happened last year and 2 years ago doesn't really matter.
Sure.
The Eagles, when healthy, I think are a very good football team, though. And I tend to agree with you. The problem with this game is that Seattle has never been an easy place to go on the road and win.
Sure.
If they're in it, and by they I mean the fans, it is one of the loudest buildings in football.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts ready to hit the doggy bag on the sideline with the 12th man being as loud as possible, it's going to affect him.
Yep.
The Eagles have to score first and get the crowd out of it.
Yes.
And that's really, to me, the key to this game. Eliminate the crowd. It makes life a lot easier.
I would agree. You know, we just talked about this to open the show, and I was saying Seattle has no wiggle room here. I am looking at the NFC playoff picture, Sammy P. This is insanity. Right now, Rams, last team in, right? Saints right there. Outside looking in, though. Seattle a game back. Atlanta a game back. Green Bay. I mean, this is a log jam here, so there's certainly no room for error for the Seahawks. Again, Geno, Drew Lock, hell, Warren Moon. I don't care. I am going the Eagles tonight. I believe that Jalen Hurts will do what he always does, and we talked about this, overcome adversity. I mean, the guy has an entire career on doing that. I understand he doesn't feel well. I still believe he'll make the plays. I still believe the Eagles will cover in this game. As you look at player props, we could start with the Eagles. Anyone that jumps out to you, from Hurts to Swift to Brown, where would you go for an Eagles standpoint in terms of player props?
Well, I don't have a lot of action on this game, but the one I will bet, and I have bet, I guess I should say, is Jalen Hurts to score an anytime touchdown. Because of the flu, you're starting to get some doubters in the market. So the appetite to bet Jalen Hurts is not as strong. But if he plays, and again, I assume he's going to play, he's going to give it a go, he is very live anytime the Eagles have the ball inside the 5-yard line, which will happen in this game. He becomes their go-to back, even though he's not a running back, he's the quarterback. Gets inside the 2-yard line, it's the brotherly shove. However, the price is extremely sensitive in this game. He's minus 125 at FanDuel. He's as high as minus 170 to score a touchdown at Caesars.
Right.
And the problem with people that only have one out, one book for that matter, is that they don't maximize the best price. If you only have a Caesars account, you're going to have to lay 170. But if you have multiple accounts, you can lay the best price. And minus 125 for him to score a touchdown, sick or not, is a great bet.
I'm with you. I'd shop around for the best number, as Sammy always tells you to do, and we tell you to always do. So I'll tell you on Hurts in terms of the Eagles standpoint. I'm curious to get your Seahawks player props if you have any plays, because for me, I'm going, and you said it, I'm going straight to it. Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown, plus 150 right now. And look, same thing. We're a broken record, and we will continue to be that. Shop around, find the best price. But this just goes back to philosophy. If Geno plays, and he's not 100%, which we know he won't be if he does, run the ball. With me? If Drew Lock starts, cool, it's Drew Lock. Run the damn ball. I don't really care, and I understand these lines change, and I'm laying the points with the Eagles regardless of the quarterback situation, and I'm betting on Kenneth Walker to have a big night regardless of the quarterback situation for the Seahawks, because it's the only shot that they have in this game. If they go out there trying to air it out, and I hear you about the secondary, sure, take your shots, whoever's playing quarterback. But if they come out tonight and they do not try to physically impose their will against the Eagles, they're not winning this game. They're certainly not going to cover in this game. So I believe Kenneth Walker has a big game. Any feel for any Seahawks or pass?
Pass.
Fair enough. Let's go to better bet. What's a better bet? DeAndre Swift over 59.5 rushing yards, or Kenneth Walker, you know where I'm going, over 48.5 rushing yards.
Just to go over the lower number.
Okay.
I don't love either back in this matchup. I don't. I mean, look, this is the reality. People watch these shows to get bets. I told you my favorite bet. You talked about your favorite bet. I think the better bet is to go over the lower number, because I can make a case for both guys to go over, but I get an 11-yard cushion with Kenneth Walker III.
Sure, who's a very good player. Look, obviously I'm on the touchdown, but I'm on the yards over as well, because I do believe the carries will be there for him, and I do believe if Seattle wants to hang in this game, cover or win it, and keep those playoff hopes alive, not only does Kenneth Walker have to be big tonight, I believe he has to be big moving forward for them. Remember, he was banged up all year, and that's part of the reason why they're probably struggling. I think offensively, that's what they want to do, is run the football. He's been in and out of the lineup all year. Conversely, not great. So I think tonight he's back. He's been back a couple weeks now. Hasn't really looked explosive. Perhaps tonight is the night that he gets that back. He gets that explosion back and goes over that. All right, better bet. Let's go to receivers now. A.J. Brown, over 78.5 receiving yards, or DK Metcalf, over 60.5 receiving yards. Will you go the lower number here, even with questions at quarterback?
I will go over on Metcalf, because I really do think they're going to take some shots down the field. And it gets even more attainable if they can go with your game plan and run the ball, setting up the ISO one-on-one play action look down the field. DK Metcalf can catch a 40 or 50-yard ball in this game. So then I need how many more? What is it, 60.5 you said?
60.5.
So then if he catches a 50-yard pass, then I only need a 12-yard reception. He's going to get 7 or 8 targets. I really think people are underestimating how weak the Eagles secondary is.
For sure. Listen, it's hard to disagree with you, so I won't. But I will also add, I like both of these bets, to be honest with you, because you make a great point about DK. Even with the questions at quarterback, he's that game breaker. And I just talked about the explosiveness not being there for Kenneth Walker. DK has that in abundance. So if he gets the ball, he can go to the house. We understand that. But with that, I still like over for A.J. Brown, 78.5, because if you're telling me Jalen Hurts is playing in this game, then you know A.J. Brown's going to be a part of it. In fact, although I like this better bet, both of these receivers, my favorite bet for A.J. Brown is an anytime touchdown plus 115 because of the Jalen Hurts factor, right? And so as I look at this, hey, you're not feeling well, Jalen Hurts? Don't tuck and run the ball. Sit in the pocket. Your offensive line gives you time. Pick this defense apart. A.J. Brown's going to be there for the taking. I like him in this scenario, but I also like the plus 115 for an anytime touchdown. I know you're on Hurts for that, but at least your thoughts on the A.J. Brown anytime touchdown.
Sure.
You like that one?
I want you to win your bet.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's very nice of you, my friend.
I just feel like at the end of the day, this plays into a big narrative, and you know that they're going to have the whole thing dressed up for Jalen Hurts to come out and ball.
Of course.
Because he is sick. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not sick. That's not what I'm getting at. But if imagine the announcers, like,
it's the, once
he gets inside the 5.
Of course.
Jalen Hurts with the flu across the goal line.
Jordan
this
flu
stuff
game. I'm telling you, you see it coming. At the end of the game, you watch, someone's going to be carrying him off, and I'm just going to text you, Jordan flu game.
As long as he scores, I don't care what you call it.
You get that anytime touchdown cash.
And Jordan did it in the NBA Finals.
This
is a regular season game in Seattle.
Also, sidebar, and we'll get back to football. Was it really the flu for Mike? That's the question. That's all I'm saying. Was it really the flu? But another topic. Yeah, we don't have enough time. Another topic for another day. I just questioned, Mike, did you really have the flu? All right, look, last question for you.
Oh, there's more.
Before we're out, I do want to ask about the total because I have zero lean, and I always have a vibe or a feel for the total. I have none. 45.5. Would you go over or under? Or do you have a
under
lean?
45?
You lean under.
I thought the game would be Eagles -3, and the total would be 43.
Okay.
So
right
the
there.
line is extremely tight. The total's tight. Nope.
Okay.
No edge.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, that's why I asked, because it's unusual for me to not have a feel for it. But that's why I asked. 45.5. I kind of lean under too now.
Jalen Hurts across the goal line one time.
Kenneth Walker III, do it also. Hey, that's it for us here on NESN Bets Kickoff. We appreciate you as always. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you next time. Peace.